Bleeding Purple Podcast.
Steve Brown steps up in the pocket. He'll fire to the right side. Caught by Diggs. Stay alive. Oh my God. 30. No. 10. Are you kidding me? The finish in the Minneapolis. No way. Stephon Diggs in the middle of the Vikings. On the New Orleans Saints. It's a 61-yard Minneapolis miracle. I can't believe what I just saw. What an unbelievable play.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into Bleeding Purple, a podcast about the Minnesota Vikings. My name is Tyler Haig. I am joined, as always, by Mr. Adam Patrick. How are you, good sir?
Pretty good. Yeah. Yep, pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It's the downtime. It's the
a
off
nice
season.
June day.
Mm-hmm. It's hot here, and I am so Minnesotan that I'm already like, screw this. I can't handle it. Like, let's go back to fall. Like, well, fall because football, but just heat, humidity. I can't do it, man.
You guys are 3 weeks after complaining about
how it was
snow.
still snowing. I know, and I'm the worst, and I deserve.
Now it's too hot.
I know, I deserve all of this criticism. I am the worst. I am like that dude, and I am though. I have to own it. I can't handle it. If it was 67 degrees all the time, I'd be good.
Okay, everyone saw it coming for everybody. So.
Oh, yeah, it's true. And in this place, it's what can you do? Okay, let's start with like kind of the newest bit of news, but like really goofy, strange, kind of not Vikings news. Mychal Kendricks, as far as we can tell, is going to sign with the Cleveland Browns.
I think it was confirmed.
Is it confirmed? Because
Brown.
Brown's confirmed. Okay, that's what I was waiting for. Because I knew Schefter was in on it. I knew Yahoo Sports guy had been reporting it, and then the treasure that is Chris Thomason calling him and asking him and getting cursed out because of I'm not sure why he was cursing him out. Do you think that was like a leverage thing, or what do you think he was so upset about the report? Kendricks, that is. What do you think Kendricks was so upset about that report coming out? Or do you think it was just because Chris Thomason was calling him?
I don't. Well, he was upset about Ian Rappaport.
Mm-hmm. The initial report coming out, right?
Yeah. Doing his job and reporting on news that he heard, and then I think Kendricks responded on Twitter like, "I will never respect you ever again," or something like that, and people are just like, okay. And then Thomason apparently called him and was like, "This is bleep 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 bleep." And then
somebody tweeted back at that, was like, "You got to." I think it was Matthew Collar was like,
"You gotta give us the first letter
so we kind of can follow."
Some of them were just like, "What?"
And I'm a big cursor. I curse a lot, and even I was having trouble following. I was like, that doesn't really make sense in the.
But so he's signing with Cleveland, like Rappaport reported first. So maybe he owes Mr. Rappaport an apology. Probably not.
I mean, definitely won't be happening. But do you? Why were you so mad? What was he so mad about? What's the problem? If you're signing with the team that you want to sign with, and then it's being reported, what? Like, why?
I'm guessing that Rappaport probably found out from his agent. These are usually the sources of these guys, are the agents, and he probably found out from his agent, and his agent was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go with the Browns," so we went with that. And then Kendricks probably didn't know if stuff was like finalized, so he didn't want to be like, "Yeah, he's right," or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's not coming to the Vikings to play with his brother,
which is a bummer. Not shocking. But not shocking.
It's not really a bummer. It's fine either way, because maybe Ben Gideon will be good. He was a rookie last year. We can't just dismiss him.
It's true. It's true. And I think that we, not necessarily me and you,
It's not really a position of need either.
yeah, I think we underestimate the progression of people, especially on this team. Defenders progressing with Mike Zimmer's defense, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it is fairly plausible that he could get more snaps and be a very decent contributor on this team. And he's cheaper, and he's younger, and he's under team control contract for longer. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's a pretty compelling argument you have made there, good sir.
Pretty, yeah. I understand why they would go after somebody like that, and I understand why they probably didn't offer him as much money that he wanted.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And this is one of those things that it makes sense for kind of both sides. He's going to get more snaps and be a starter either in Cleveland or in Oakland was the other.
Yeah, he should go. He should go get the money anyway. People are like, you could have taken less money to play with your brother. I'm like, it's the NFL. When you're like halfway through your career or heading towards the end of your career, you got to get that money because
Ben Lieber
you don't know when that's going to be there.
Lieber had a great point on the one of the K-Fan shows. I don't know if it was a morning show or not, but he was like, think about this. You are working with your little brother, and he is making 5 times as much money as you are, and is a starter, and is like, he's higher up on the food chain. And that's your you taught him how to play football. That might not be that might be difficult for people.
Well, so what? He's better.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But as as an ego NFL linebacker guy, there's a good chance that he might have been like, I'm good on playing with that guy because he's really good, and I don't want my little brother to look better than me. I don't know. I don't know. That was just what Ben Lieber was speculating. I thought that made a little bit of sense from perspective.
I don't know. I think they have a pretty good relationship from what I've seen.
I was going to say it seems
social
like they
media
get
and
along.
stuff.
Yeah, it seems like they get along fine. All right, so let's never talk about Mychal Kendricks again. This is the second year we've done this because last year he demanded a trade, and it was the same thing all over again. Was everybody, should they give up, blah, 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 blah. So let's...
I remember writing about it.
So good. That part of my life is done. I don't have to talk about Mychal Kendricks anymore.
Maybe he'll sign here at the end of his career.
I'm sure he will. Do we get any of the numbers on the contract that he signed? How many years until we have to do this again? Is it 2 years?
Idea.
Is it 3 years?
No idea.
It'll happen again.
With the Browns, he could be a free agent again next year. So.
That's a great point. Nick Easton says he wants a contract extension.
He said he would like it, not like Houston.
Not demanding it.
Not demanding.
Yeah. Do you think they should give it to him?
Not before some other people. No.
I was going to say he's probably 5th on that list.
4th or 5th,
or 5th?
Probably 5th, after Trey Waynes.
I like Nick Easton. I think he is... If you're paying attention, you can see that they're looking for offensive linemen who can play multiple offensive lineman positions and are able to... He totally fits that mold and can play wherever they need him to play. He's at center right now while Elflein is recovering.
Mm-hmm. He's athletic.
Yeah, and so that's the guy. I think you should give him an extension, but I think there are at least 3 other dudes that need their extensions before Easton gets his.
Yeah, even if he becomes a free agent, I don't know how big his market would be. Mm-hmm. How many teams would be totally we gotta sign him? Yeah. But then again, you never know. Look at Jerick McKinnon and the money that he got from the 49ers.
Totally, and I would have said that before he hit free agency. I'd have been like, really, they'd probably get to re-sign him because who's going to be... Well, 49ers with a lot of money. That's who was interested.
Yeah.
With Easton, when is his contract up? When is the...
Next year.
Next year?
So,
okay.
1-year deal.
Okay.
They could... If they did an extension, it wouldn't be expensive. It would be... Right now, if they did it, it would be pretty cheap. Mm-hmm. Probably similar to maybe what Adam Thielen got last year before the season.
Like a 2 or 3 year type thing, or what are you thinking? Because how old is Easton? He ain't the youngest guy in the world anymore. I think
he's 25. 25, 26. He's not old.
Oh wow, I thought he was older than that.
No. But Thielen got a 4-year, $25 million deal, and obviously all of that money isn't guaranteed. Mm-hmm. and there's probably an option to get out of there. Not that the Vikings want to do that now with Thielen.
Yeah.
He probably is going to want more money next year, actually. But yeah, they could do something like that if they wanted to. Right now, I just think their priorities are elsewhere with Stephon Diggs, Anthony Barr, Daniel Hunter, Trey Waynes, and they've got a bunch of players. Even Sheldon Richardson, he's going to be.
Yep.
If they want him back somehow.
You could make a case for Nick Easton being 6th or 7th on that list.
Yeah, they also draft. They have Danny Isidora.
Yep.
He's a guy that could probably replace Easton next year. I think they're grooming him to try and do that, but
yeah,
not so sure right now. But we'll see.
As far as the offensive line, like on the whole, is concerned, do you think they need to add another piece still? Do you think there is still missing something? Or do you think that this group, assuming obviously that Elflein comes back, do you think that group can go into the season and be sufficient?
I don't think they're going to add anybody. I don't really know who's left out there right now.
Yeah.
If they were going to add people, it would have been in the draft. They did. They added Brian O'Neill, but he's, not really. We're not really sure if he's ready to just be in the starting lineup right away. I mean, the last time the Vikings started a rookie player or a rookie offensive lineman from Pittsburgh at right tackle, everyone knows how that went.
It's not his fault, man. But yeah,
but that's what I'm saying.
It did not go well, though. Yes, you are correct.
I think the Vikings have learned their lesson to, Elflein's different. He's in the middle. You don't have to. There's less to. Well, it's easier to mess up in the middle of the offensive line than it is on the outside. And
poor TJ was on an island.
Yeah, and Elflein is more established. I feel like.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like a player like O'Neill or Clemmings are a little bit more raw.
Yeah.
So I think the Vikings have probably learned their lesson to not do that, and I would be very surprised if O'Neill opened the season as the starter at
sure.
right tackle or something like that. Just no.
Yeah. I don't know if nightmares is the right way to put it, but I'm so afraid of having a situation like the 2016 where that was a good team. That was a playoff possible caliber team, and they just that was so brutal to watch a team be completely handicapped by their offensive lines.
Oh, the injuries?
Or injuries or inefficiencies later on then, because of guys like TJ Clemmings having to play. There's no way that can happen. Tell me that won't happen again. That's not going to happen this year. Even if they have a ton of injuries, they still should be in better shape than they were that season, right? Right?
Well, they had a ton of injuries during Zimmer's first 2 seasons on the offensive line, I feel like. And then they got rid of their strength coach and replaced him with whoever's there now. And it seemed to be working a little better. There definitely were not as many injuries on the offensive line last year. I think Reimers was out for a bit because he had a concussion. There's not really a whole lot you can do about that.
Yeah.
And some ankle injuries, but nothing where it's like so-and-so tears his ACL or pulls a pectoral muscle or something like
has
that.
Has a bad lower back all of a sudden.
Yeah, stuff you can prevent from happening, like broken ankles just kind of happens. So
yeah, what can you do? Guys roll up on you. Yep, exactly. What else? Dalvin Cook says he's expects to be ready by week 1. We've also heard that from Zimmer and Spielman. They all say he is, what's the term they use? He's ahead of schedule on his rehab and should be able to start. That obviously is a big addition. Only 4 games in his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there are question marks there with Dalvin Cook. I think he's an incredible athlete, but this is a guy who is very explosive and relies on that for his game, and now is coming off of this ACL. Do you think am I too worried? Do you think he's going to be fine? Is this not Adrian Peterson in the sense that he's gonna, run for more yards than everybody, but do you think he could have a very productive rushing season this season?
Oh, he's got the potential, sure. He's young enough. His knee injury wasn't like super bad. There wasn't any nerve damage, I don't think, and it was just the ACL. I'm not 100% sure, but it definitely wasn't as worse as even Adrian Peterson's was in 2011.
For whatever reason, I watched a video of that injury again. That was gruesome, man. Like, that was
just slipped.
Oh, and then got hit as he was going in, and that's not how legs are supposed to be. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
He's young. Still probably has plenty of speed and stuff. He looks good in the small clips. It's hard to judge, but it looks like he's cutting and stuff back to the way he used to. He's wearing a brace still. I don't know if he'll keep that on. I doubt it. Most running backs, I don't really know a whole lot of running backs that wear a brace.
Anymore.
But there is also that potential that he won't, because ACL injuries are no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been some players that have come back and been successful. There's Adrian Peterson, Todd Gurley. He tore his in college before he came in the NFL. He's pretty good right now. But they might have to just ease him in more than they would like to.
Yeah.
Use Latavius Murray a little more than they did last year in the beginning of the year, and then
almost
maybe
a reversal of roles where you're using Dalvin Cook as you used Latavius Murray at the beginning of the season last year.
Well, I'm sure Dalvin Cook he'll still be the starter, but they might take him out for a series or two more than they did last year, and there could even be a third guy that emerges in training camp or the preseason, because they take McKinnon's role. So
for sure,
we'll see. I think that he's not going to have the workload that he had last year at the beginning.
In the first 4 games. Yeah, I would agree with that completely. What else do we got? Oh God, I've been excited to talk to you about this. So the NFL Top 100, the NFL Network, correct?
Joke list?
Yes. This is not Pro Football Focus. This is just the NFL Network.
It's supposedly the players vote on it.
The players voted on this?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that changes everything. I was just about to rip, but the players vote it? So, let's go through a couple of these, and I know you've been paying attention. The one that most people seem to be the most frustrated with is Harrison Smith was 46th.
Mm-hmm.
The 46th best player in the NFL. That seems crazy to me. I feel like he's better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Who else we got? Kirk Cousins, 94.
Xavier Rhodes.
Yeah, Xavier Rhodes, 55.
Pretty sure he made the All-Pro team last year. I'm not.
And
so did Harrison Smith.
Have you seen the actual the episode itself where they're
all like, he's the best.
He's the best in the NFL. Yeah, he's the best cornerback in the NFL.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
He's great. Yeah. Oh, is he? Number 46 on our list. It's like, what? Oh, it drives me crazy.
The best parts is when they say that stuff, and then 4 spots later, it's like Aqib Talib, 51.
Exactly.
Or no, Case Keenum was 51.
Yeah. Ugh. But the players are voting on that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That just is dumb now. I was going to be angry at whomever was putting that list together, but being that it's the players, that's just...
They do it during the Pro Bowl or towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and the way I've heard Mike Golick talk about the way they did their voting, where it was basically guys on the defensive side would yell to the guys on the offense, hey, who was the best player on defense? And then they would yell back, and then they'd write that down. And that was the extent of their research into it.
I'm not surprised based on the list. I mean,
yeah, no kidding, right? And then you look at those numbers, and it's
Yeah, Odell Beckham's 77th. What? I know he was hurt last year, but this is supposed to be for and that's no one's ever explained that. Is this a list for players who are going to be good next year or players who were good last year?
Yes, are we reviewing the 2017 season? Are we?
It's never been cleared up. It's something that they need to clear that up. I think it's the 2018 NFL Top 100, so
maybe it would be a
for next
reflection
year.
of that.
So you're saying that Odell Beckham's going to be the 77th best player next year? I don't think
And that doesn't
so.
make any sense to me at all.
Jarvis Landry's better than Harrison Smith?
I don't think so.
He's on... No.
No. No. Case Keenum is a more
Case Keenum is
important
better.
player
Is way,
than Xavier
way ranked,
Rhodes.
Way ranked higher than Xavier Rhodes, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, think about this. Case Keenum is 40 spots better than Kirk Cousins, and we let Case Keenum go, and we gave Kirk Cousins gobs of guaranteed money.
Well, we should have just waited. They should have just waited for these
Wait
rankings.
for these lists to come out, and then we would have not made this mistake.
And they would have saved a lot of money. They would have everyone re-signed now. All this
Nobody
stuff
would be complaining about anything. It would just be
everyone would be happy. No one would be
good to
worried
go.
at all.
Yes. I might write a letter to Rick Spielman and talk to him, be like, hey, man, did you know that there was just a ranking list?
Just be patient next year.
Yeah,
just
you can go off of that.
Wait until May. There might not be as many good players around, but you'll know at least who to go after
Exactly.
if they're still available.
By their rankings. It'll make
which
it
they
easy.
probably won't be. But either way, you'll know that you didn't
make a mistake.
Yeah, you didn't spend too much money on someone that was clearly overrated.
Exactly. And we could also do this with I wonder if he knows about mock drafts. If he just waits long enough, they'll just tell him where the players are ranked. I know.
They look at all that stuff.
They have to, right?
With their burner accounts.
That's right. Yes. Let's talk about Spielman's burner accounts. Or if he were to have burner accounts.
He does.
He does. You know this. Everyone does?
I know he has one. I have sources that have confirmed, and I'm not lying. # sources.
Here's the thing.
He doesn't follow. Well, he follows people, but no one follows him. And his tweets are protected.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he doesn't. I don't think he comments on anything. He's just there to.
It's just there to check it out. Exactly. And that is the thing. All of this, of course, stemming from the 76ers and the owner and those 5 burner accounts. People being shocked.
Amazing.
That guys like that are interested in what people think about them and the job that they're doing. I think, assuming they are his burner accounts, as of course they care. Of course they're paying attention. Like,
look at their profession.
Kevin Durant talking to,
eggs.
Of course they are doing this. Just makes, I don't know. The shock is amazing to me. The fact that you aren't covering it up well enough. That part is maybe a little bit shocking.
Because they don't know how to use the internet.
Exactly.
They're like, put in my phone number? Sure. Put in my social security number? You need that too?
I'll do that. Sounds great. You are
a
Nigerian
the people,
prince? Well, of course I'll send you that.
Yeah, they're the people like, Bill Gates keeps sending me these weird emails that he wants to send me money. It's weird.
All he needs is my bank account so he can send it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do it. Have you... Oh, man. Yeah, the Nigerian prince. That's really good stuff. Burner accounts make so much sense to me. And the fact that it took...
Why would you not have one?
And the fact that it took this long for us to be able to, figure out... Not only... Or I shouldn't say not only figure out that they have them, but figure out whose they are. Like this Colangelo guy that the Ringer had to do, like serious investigative journalism to and present their look at what we found. And it's well, of course they have that. Of course he does.
The story, it's 2018. That's the kind of stuff people got to find. And I'm very thankful they do. That's very interesting stuff. So, how everything's unfolded with that. I think he's still currently with the Sixers, but his future is not looking very well.
No, there's no way they can keep him.
But, it's Philadelphia, so I hope everything goes up in flames.
Here's the thing. They're going to lose him, and then they're going to sign LeBron James in the offseason, and they're just going to get another one.
I hope.
So that's the rumor. That's the sexy rumor, is LeBron goes to...
I'd rather see him go to L.A., actually.
Yeah, me too. I don't...
Go to L.A. You already live there.
Exactly. It makes more sense.
Go to the Clippers if you want.
And it also, Clippers would be interesting, but I like when and maybe you disagree with me, but I like when teams like the Lakers and the Celtics and the Knicks are good. I like in baseball when the Yankees are good, and I like when in football when 49ers and Cowboys and teams like that. It's good. It's good for the sport to not only have big markets involved, but then it also gives guys like us, not guys, but like markets like us in the Minnesotas and the Milwaukees of the world, someone to hate. Somebody to look at and be like, oh, And in all seriousness, I think that's good for like when baseball was at its best, or at its most popular, everybody hated the one team that was winning all the time, and I think that's good for.
Yeah, I mean, everyone complains that the NBA Finals is the Cavs and Warriors again this year. I was one to complain, but people are still watching, so I mean. Can't be that annoyed about it.
Exactly. And it's like look back at all of the like golden ages of like when basketball was its purest. Well, the Celtics were winning. Yeah, exactly. Celtics Lakers for over and over and over. Or even before that, like Celtics. Like they won like what was it, like 8 in a row or whatever?
Yeah. Bulls, Pistons.
Yeah, yes. It makes sense for the best two teams to face off a number of years in a row. I think in the like long-term success of your league.
Vikings, Saints.
Exactly. Ugh, the Saints. When is Drew Brees going to retire? How old is Drew Brees? I'm tired of the Saints and I'm tired of Drew Brees and I want them to be done. I want them to not be good anymore.
He's 39.
Cool, so he's got like 6 years left. Because 45 is the new 29.
I'd say 3 at the most.
How many, speaking of predicting years on aging quarterbacks, how many more years do you think Tom Brady has? Well, first of all, in New England, and then I guess in his career.
I think he wants to win at least one more Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. I think he can, like this year and next year, but I guarantee he does not finish his career in New England. Guarantee it.
No, he will.
Guarantee it. I will put money on that.
I think he will. His wife doesn't want him to play anymore right now, and she's the breadwinner in the family.
Yeah, that's such an important dynamic to mention because all those other guys, all the other old quarterbacks, they never didn't have that, and they got more money than.
And I think whoever goes first, Belichick or Brady, the other one's going to retire at the same time because it's just. So they can mess with people even more so that no one will be like, see, it was Belichick that made you good, or see, it was Brady that made you a good coach. They're just going to both retire at the same time to leave that hot take machine going on forever.
Just keep it moving.
Have it be a summer off-season conversation for the rest of existence.
Forever, yeah. And, God, when you put it like that, it would not shock me if they did that. But I just always, when I think of these amazing quarterbacks, like Joe Montana finished his career in Kansas City, and like even the like Favre in Minnesota, I mean, all of these guys, all of them finished with a different team.
Favre's different; he's just crazy. But the Montana stuff and all those other quarterbacks
playing for the Rams that just did not belong in a Rams
Trent Green?
uniform. No, earlier than that, like a long time ago. It's like
Joe Namath.
Yeah, Namath. That's who it was. Yeah, like come on, you can't.
But a lot of that
Namath in a Rams.
They didn't make the kind of money that guys make today.
That's
so
true.
Like Brady's got enough money where he doesn't really have to be like, I want to keep playing.
Yeah, and
I have to pay $30 million.
Yeah, and
but
maybe
Favre's
he doesn't count because none of the rules apply to him.
Whole different animal.
Yeah. I'd agree with
but yeah, I don't think Gronk's gonna be there his entire career. I think he's got probably a year left. Yeah, he seems to be getting on their nerves and they're getting on his nerves. So I think he'll probably be somewhere else next year.
For sure. I bet he gets traded or leaves or however, but he will spend 3 or 4 years not in New England and then will come back and be like,
no,
I'm sorry.
He'll probably go to the Eagles. He would fit in great there.
Oh, God, would he ever. They'd be terrifying if they had Gronk. And that being said, anybody would be terrifying with Gronk because he is like...
Yeah, but I mean just like the whole like bro mentality and all that stuff.
He'd be a legend immediately.
Or the Raiders when they go to Vegas.
See, I bet there are people around him who would be like, "You can't go to Vegas. You can't try and live in Vegas and play football, guy. Don't.
Why? What will happen?
Don't do that."
It's gonna be fine. He's gonna be sitting in his room every night. This room service.
Can you imagine Gronk watching like The Bachelorette and just like, "Thank you,
Yeah,
just
just
put it on
sitting
the
there.
table."
Yeah. I need some extra water. Can you bring some water?
But like you could hear the nightclub out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
No, I
Gronk,
can totally see it.
come on, man.
Yeah.
No. I gotta go to bed. It's like 7 o'clock.
I got practice tomorrow, guys. I gotta
Yeah,
call it. Yeah.
I'm very curious
Oh, my
how
God.
all that stuff's gonna happen with like players and stuff.
You know,
Especially with some like a guy like if John Gruden's still there
Yeah.
when they're there,
yeah.
being like the no nonsense kind of guy he is.
You know, and I was wondering if maybe part of the moves that he was making this offseason that everyone was like, "Ooh," maybe that was part of the like, we need to get some old, mature
They're not gonna
guys
party.
in here because they're not going to party. And
Right.
and then when we go there, they can be like, no party from any of you young bucks. Like, knock it off.
That's why Des Bryant is not there.
Who do you? Well, I think we nailed it. The person with the most trouble is probably Gronk. I bet he would have the most difficult time playing in Las
sure.
Vegas. I don't know if there's.
Sure.
I don't know if there's anybody else that's even worth.
Johnny Manziel if he
worth
comes
mentioning.
back. I don't even know. I don't know. He's in rehab.
He's on the straight and narrow.
Well, he's
now.
not in rehab. He's in recovery. He's taking meds and
Do you
stuff.
see
so.
his highlights from the CFL?
I did. He didn't look too bad.
He did not look too bad.
It's weird because CFL field is very wide.
Oh, it's so strange.
So he's throwing like a 5-yard out, and it's like 30 yards.
For real. That was the thing. He like escaped the pocket and then ran for like 12 more feet and then threw it to the guy. I was like, Jesus Christ. It's so long. The motion thing is goofy for me. And aren't the fields like
they're
110 yards long too?
Yeah.
Like there's a 50, middle 50.
Yep. There's only 3 downs.
Wait, whoa, what? Only 3 downs?
Yeah.
So you punt on 3rd down all the time,
Yeah.
no matter what?
Well, some people go for it, but
But
because the field's longer, so your field position isn't as bad if like you're on the 30 in the CFL as it compared to the 30 in the NFL.
yeah. Man, I'm gonna have to do some research. I had no idea about the 3rd down rule.
CFL's got some kooky rules.
I'm gonna have to like look into that. That sounds like a lot of fun now. But yeah, Johnny Football looks pretty good. He, I kind of forgot because it's been so long since I've seen any like highlights of him. But
How small he is.
Well, that too, tiny little man throwing across his body, running this way, throwing this way, like completes the pass. But it's like, oh man, that's right. You do that, don't you? Forgot.
Well, I felt it was just like a preseason game or whatever, but I felt like he was more. That offense allowed him to be more the player that he is, like to move around and stuff. Where like with the Browns, they want him to be like a pocket passer.
Totally, and we've discussed this so many times in this show.
Yeah.
But like, why? Why would you try and force him to be a player that he is not? Why would you try and focus on his shortcomings as a football player instead of accentuating the things that he does well? It just boggles my mind.
Since we're already talking about this topic and we like to bring this person up every time we do, I don't know if we talked about it. It might have been when I was gone, but Norv Turner is saying that Cam Newton can be like a high 60s percentage passer next year. He has the capabilities of doing that.
I said it from the minute they signed him, from the minute they brought him on, I was like, nice. We don't have to worry about Carolina for like 3 years. Because that's all he's just going to destroy, like, the ancient offense. He's going to kill Cam Newton. You watch, Cam Newton's going to be out of Carolina.
He's going to be pissed.
He's going to be super pissed. He's not a pocket pet. Oh, man.
Not going to be any read option next year.
No.
Sorry, Cam, that we're going to take away your best attribute.
And then think about the quarterbacks who have played under Norv Turner and been successful, like no personality guys. And now you got Cam Newton, who's like, oh yeah, I guess he is a little bit better. Yeah, maybe that kind of. All right, I'll give you that. Okay, but I just imagine Cam Newton as like I'm smiling and talking and this is fun and funny, and then Norv Turner like.
But again, with Phillip Rivers,
drop.
A lot of their earlier success was because they had LaDainian Tomlinson in his prime.
Oh yeah, good call.
So it wasn't really all Phillip Rivers like it is kind of is now, where he kind of gets to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and if you look at what Phillip Rivers has done without that running back,
Throws a lot of interceptions.
and has not won. I mean, the regular seasons have been good at times, but he's got like 0 postseason success.
They haven't been to the playoffs
in
4 years.
Yeah. But he still gets. Do you consider him one of the like elite quarterbacks in the league? He still gets put into that like category all the time. I feel like. I don't know if I necessarily disagree with him being in that, but to just be like, oh yeah, he's great, and throw out.
I don't
like,
think
the
he's a Hall of
results.
Famer.
Like yeah, okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, all right.
Stats
Man.
say otherwise. He'll probably break records and stuff, but
Totally. And do you
Maybe.
blame him for his team's
Oh, just,
lack
the-
of production, or is it
that could be. But it's the game too. Like throwing for 4,000 yards these days isn't
No, it's nothing. Yeah,
uncommon, really. But
it's true. They are gonna
Yeah.
they're gonna have some decisions to make. It's gonna be like baseball, where it's like those numbers that were like we're gonna have to toss out all of these passing records and statistics like it was the home run counts
Well, like-
of the 90s.
wins do actually matter. I mean, look at Eli Manning. If he didn't win those 2 Super Bowls, probably not going to the Hall of Fame.
No,
But
probably not.
He's pretty much a shoo-in.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think who Phillip Rivers reminds me of that's like not in the Hall of Fame. Like maybe like a Steve McNair. Like Steve McNair didn't have like the passing numbers he did, but he was a successful NFL quarterback, but nothing where you're like, wow. Even maybe, I don't know. I kind of think Donovan McNabb could be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All
No,
the-
I think that's a good group of kind of very similar. And of those two, I mean, I think I would put Donovan McNabb and Steve McNair above Phillip Rivers, because both of those guys have made it to a Super Bowl, at least. Phillip Rivers hasn't done that.
What about Michael Vick?
I think Michael Vick, and maybe I'm biased because I was like the right age when he was coming up, and I got to play the Madden game that was like Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl style, where he was just, I mean, he was so good for those 3-4 years or whatever it was in Atlanta, that like I can't, for me personally, my opinion, I think Hall of Famer, and I think it's not even close. Like I think
I think so too.
amazing.
Just because the way he changed, made defenses like on their heels and all that stuff.
Oh my god!
But have you ever gone back and like looked at the players that he was surrounded with, like in the Falcons? Like he had nobody. He had like Michael Jenkins was like his top receiver.
Oh man, and he still would like that game against the Vikings in overtime where he like made.
They never show highlights of that.
Oh my god! It was like that.
Only
I guess was
every time Michael Vick is brought up anywhere, it's like, oh, just throw this one in where he made 2 Vikings hit each other.
That was actually like one of the earlier, like right as the play happened and he got out of the pocket, I was like, oh god, it's over. I was like, oh man, this is done. Because whether or not he scores, I don't know, but he's gonna run far enough to get them to kick a field goal and the game's gonna be over.
Same thing happened with RG3 in like 2012 when he just, I think it was overtime or something, and he just broke free and was gone.
God.
He just knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, man, Michael Vick. He for me is like, he might be my favorite all-time NFL player.
That's gonna be like a hot take fuel machine when he's up for nomination, because Terrell Owens will probably come out and be like, Michael Vick's not a Hall of Famer. Look at his numbers. Look at me. Terrell Owens has come out and said that Randy Moss didn't deserve to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. What?
Oh, sometimes there are times where T.O. is like, where I'm like, oh man, maybe he's just misunderstood. And I think there's a good man in there, and he just is like got a lot of ego that like comes out of his mouth first. And then stuff like this happens where I'm like, no, there's nothing. He's just a jerk, and he's totally delusional, and he's got no scope of like what's going on. And I don't think he ever did. Randy Moss
I hate to compare him to this guy, but he's a little bit like O.J. Simpson.
In that sense, in the delusional sense. Yeah.
Not the murder part.
Not the, well, Yeah, not that. We'll leave that part out.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, allegedly. Did you hear his I've never had a guy. I've never been accused of anything like that before. That was his statement to the parole board. It's like, yeah, you have.
It definitely. There's a 10-hour documentary on it.
For real. It captivated the world for months. Like, we all know that you've been accused of it, man. Like, that's not a secret. Oh, Lord almighty. What else do we got here? How long have we been... It's so easy for us to fill up this time, even though we got nothing to talk about. What else?
But there's always someone. Well, the Eagles aren't going to the White House anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Eagles not going to the White House because, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the Lynx want to go to the White House, but have not yet been invited.
What? They do?
Well, or not maybe want is the wrong word, but
they want the invite.
Yes, want to be invited and have not yet been invited.
They want the invite so they can decline.
So they can say no. Yeah, exactly. So
that would be great. I would become a fan of them if they did that.
If they did that.
But yeah, there's like a couple players that weren't going to go for the Eagles, and then
aren't there always a couple of players that aren't there though? Isn't that like not uncommon?
I don't know. I know the Astros went to the White House. Mm-hmm. I know Alabama went to the White House. I know the Warriors did not go to the White House. Mm-hmm. Steph Curry didn't want to go.
Not shocking. Steve Kerr has not exactly been a huge supporter of
Trump. He wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, that was not as.
But like it just reminds me of well, first off, yeah, a couple players aren't going to go that are on the Eagles, like Chris Long. I think probably not Michael Jenkins. Who's their safety? It's not Michael Jenkins because he's the receiver from the Vikings, the old receiver. Jenkins, I can't remember.
Yeah.
His first name.
I'm totally blanking. You threw too many names at me, and now I'm lost.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
That's okay. But there's a couple players that aren't going. Probably Michael Bennett, he's probably not going. And then President just issued a statement like, since a couple players from the Eagles, didn't want to come here and didn't support the fact that they should stand for the national anthem with their heart over their hand, blah, 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 blah. I'm uninviting the Eagles to the White House, and instead, the fans that were going to attend, we're going to have a different ceremony, and we'll play the national anthem real loud and stuff. I'm like, what?
It just... First of all,
it's like I tweeted.
Is there a more immature thing to do than uninvite somebody from something?
I tweeted like, those preschool kids that like they get mad at somebody who takes the juice they wanted, and then they're like, "You're not coming to my birthday party."
That's exactly what happened.
And I'm like,
here.
That's the president of the United States.
Well, if you didn't want to go, I wasn't going to invite you anyways. It's crazy to me. But that being said, I don't know, man. This is maybe getting a little bit too deep into it, but like, why do we do that in the first place? And then I get...
Why did they go?
It was an honor and a privilege and at one point. It doesn't feel like that anymore, which is maybe not this podcast, but...
Save that for the other podcast.
For the political podcast that we're going to do. We actually, over the course of these, we probably have a number of podcasts worth of material for times that we've been like, oh, that's a separate podcast.
Oh,
we should
yeah.
discuss.
Call it like the separate podcast.
Yeah, there you go. That's not a bad idea. I like that name. It has a ring to it. I'm in. I'm into it. Man, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the we were talking about the NFL Top 100 countdown. Yep. List, countdown, whatever you call it, for next year, last year, I don't know.
A compilation.
But another Viking is supposed to be on tonight's. I think it's 30 through 40 they're revealing, and another Viking. Who do you think is going to be revealed?
Has Barr been on there yet?
As the next underrated Vikings player on this list.
Next underrated. Well, if Diggs was 65, maybe Adam Thielen.
I'm thinking that too, or Everson Griffin.
Oh, yeah, good call. Yeah.
Because he did have 10 sacks in like the first 8 games last year.
And that would be the 30s to 40s would be a good spot for him in the sense of the underrated
Because I don't
voting that we have seen so far.
Him and Thielen, I don't really know who else would be on there. I think Anthony Barr was actually one of the people that was like on the outside.
The honorable mentions.
Yeah, they do that. They do that or something. So I think those are the only two left that have a chance to be on there.
You know, you got a high quality list when two dudes who are like who cover the Vikings and write about them all the time really have no idea if it's going to be the like good players that are going to be on the list here or somebody that's off the list. No idea. I have no idea who that's going to be. And it's supposed to be a list, a good
Anderson
list.
Deja.
Don't, yeah. I mean,
ranked higher
I don't
than
know.
Harrison Smith.
Honestly, guy, yeah, or Dalvin Cook. It was like, well, for those 4 games, like, okay.
Sam Bradford.
Yeah, has he been on the list?
No. You have to play.
Not if Odell Beckham's on there.
He played last year.
I guess he played a little bit.
Played more than Bradford.
That's true. Well,
yeah.
I don't know,
We'll see.
man.
They might have already... I mean, check real quick.
Did they already announce it?
I think it starts at 5. Let me check.
Oh, God.
Very good, high-quality podcasting right now.
This is, yeah. 2 guys on the phone. What up?
Top 100.
Oh, you know, while we're doing this, I should mention that...
Oh! Spoiler alert.
Who is it?
Wait.
I don't know. Who is it? Who is it? Oh, it's drum roll.
I did it with one hand, so I didn't want to. It is at number 36 on the NFL Top 100 Countdown of 2018.
36.
Adam Thielen.
Ooh.
Yep.
36. So that would leave... Wow. So you're telling me that Adam Thielen is better than Xavier Rhodes, Harrison Smith, Linval Joseph.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm underestimating Adam Thielen in the season that he had. We don't even know if they're judging him on that just
He
yet.
did. He had a really good season. Went over 1,000 yards. First time a Vikings player did that since 2009.
A lot of people are talking about Diggs and him being the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. I mean,
he only had 4 touchdowns.
Thielen only had 4 touchdowns?
He only had 4 touchdowns. He's still very good. He still had a very good season.
See, and we're spoiled too because I can remember Randy Moss having that in one game on Thanksgiving.
But yeah, I remember stuff like Calvin Johnson had a ton of yards and stuff, and he only had like 5 touchdowns in a year once because he kept getting tackled on the 1-yard line. Oh. But yeah, Thielen at number 36. At least he's 36. Ranked higher than Case Keenum, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we got that going for us. So there's no way that Barr is going to be on that. That's going to be... Well, then Griffin maybe? Or is there just one in this section? Are they going to put Everson Griffin that high up?
Maybe.
30 to 20? Whoa, I don't know. I guess we'll find out next week, I guess.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Thank you for that. Do you have any other news that you would like to mention? Anything?
No.
All right. I don't have anything. I just promote my website. Go to VikingsTerritory.com. Go to thevikingage.com.
Yeah, I think since nothing's going on now, we're probably going to start on the Viking Age having like some countdowns of like greatest quarterbacks and greatest running backs in Vikings history.
That time of year, man.
Just to, have people argue about stuff that they probably shouldn't.
Totally, exactly right. It is that.
And
time of
actually,
year.
just so everyone can get mad,
people that they were wrong about something else. Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm just gonna throw out stuff. Yeah, and recency bias. People always get mad at me for because I always put guys from like the '90s and the 2000s ahead of people from like the '70s. Mm-hmm. But before we get done, I guess my reason for that is because players in the '60s and '70s, yes, they were good, but they were also playing against guys like grocery baggers.
Yes.
Down the street.
That's exactly right.
I'm going to favor the guys that train all year long now.
Yeah.
Over those guys.
For real.
But like people like Alan Page and Carl Eller, those guys are beasts.
Yeah.
But but yeah, like
Well, see,
I can't be like this guy in the '60s is better than
Exactly.
Randy Moss. No, I'm sorry, he was.
Well, here's a great way that the way somebody put it to me, because when you talk about like the era differences, is like, yes, those players from the 60s were great. Think about how good Fran Tarkenton would have been if he would have had that like cryogenic rejuvenation chamber that like T.O. used later on. Think about how many more years he could have played. Or if he would have known what we know now about nutrition or weightlifting or, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Or think about how well John Randall would have played back then.
Yeah.
He would have had like 900 sacks.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, it's easy to, I don't know. I just feel like that's very similar to the folks who
Could you imagine Randy Moss playing in like 1965?
It would have been bonkers.
He would have had like 30 touchdowns every year.
Yeah. Well, he would have averaged like 4 touchdowns a game.
You just throw the ball up in the air.
And who's got it? Nobody. That's the answer is nobody. Nobody's going to get it. Yeah, I think that's a fair thing. It's a lot to me. It's a lot like these guys who say that like new music sucks and old music's where it's at. It's like, I just don't think you've heard enough new stuff. Like guys that say like, "Oh, old Vikings are the best." It's like, I don't think you've watched this close enough.
With music, you can't just dismiss stuff because it's new. If it's got a good beat, it's a good song. Okay?
Yeah, it is what it is. And there will be all that means is that you just have basically stopped listening to music.
Unless it's Kanye West, you know, you can just not listen to that. So
I don't know, that new one's pretty sweet.
I haven't heard it.
Dude, I tried it with like 3 songs. It's a 7-song EP, and I had 3 songs. I was like, I am so old, I don't get it.
I just downloaded
I just don't get it.
A new album by Dance Gavin Dance, if you've ever heard of them.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I have.
I'll listen to that instead.
That's, you know, they're very different, and I think you're going to like that one.
A little bit different.
Kanye. Yeah. I mean, not similar, but a little bit different, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
They both make people want to scream.
There you go. Yeah. That's, like I said, similar, but different. I mean, I think we nailed it there. Dance. Yeah.
All right.
And Kanye West, that's a great spot to end.
I've had so many OJ, Kanye,
very controversial.
Colangelo,
Yeah.
Trump, WNBA even made an appearance.
Dude, all kinds of
packed full episode.
And it's the off season. This is what you get from Bleeding Purple. You know, this is what we do. Is just
we may not be
the facts.
Football machine, and we may not, you know, climb that pocket like some people like to say. But we bleed that purple. We
That's
bleed
right.
it.
That's our thing that we do.
We bleed.
That's a great. Just that's going to be from now on. That little bit is going to be pinned to the top of our Twitter.
All right.
And that video, I think it's good. I think you just wrote the manifesto, my friend. Well done. All right, buddy. We will see you next week. Hopefully, we'll have some.
Hopefully someone gets injured or something, so we can have something to talk about.
No, don't say that.
Yeah, we need something to talk about.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Come on.
Skull bags.